Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission.
When you're talking about like this idea of sacrifice and suffering in these kind of situations, obviously my sacrifice is not profound like many people, and it's not just Bible time people. I mean, some of the people we're working with, I was just working with our guys in India, on the border of India and Nepal, and the things that these guys have dealt with.
Persecution
humbled me.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember sitting around with them. I've been working with them since 2005. It's a really long story, but I remember sitting around a fire with them because there was no electricity in the village where we were at, off and on, back in 05. And it was really hot and rainy and just really tough. We're sitting around the fire because it's the only light we have. And I'm looking around the circle and I'm seeing this guy, he's got a big machete scar across his arm. And this guy over here, he's got scars on his face because I knew that the Hindu guys there had bashed in his car window and some different things. And they're looking at me like, where's your machete scar? And I'm like, I don't have one of those.
Yes.
Like I'm just jet lagged.
Yeah, which I'm going to play up when I get home and people are really going to pity me.
Yeah. So there's a part of that. My guys, they message me and they say, hey brother, it's been, 4 or 5 days since anybody here has eaten. Can you help us?
Wow.
And I'm looking at them, what am I supposed to say to them? Like, I don't have a lot of money, but we'll find a way to help you. And so really, we started Project Doxa in a way to help meet some of those needs that were just bigger than me.
Yes.
And we were talking earlier, like, what is our mission? What is it that we do a lot of things. We send teams, we help support missionaries. We're getting ready to build a school in Nepal, which is really great. We've got a lot of stuff that we're doing, but mostly what we're doing is we built an infrastructure around the relationships and the needs that came with them.
Yes, yeah.
Because I refuse to see the people that are in my life and then turn away from their needs. And so like I made a decision, and my wife too, it's not just me, but our family, our posture has been, we will see the need and we will keep looking at it, even if it's hard and even if we can't meet it, and we'll take steps.
Well, when you describe it like that, immediately there's images that come into my mind because I've spent the last 23 years in Asia. When you're talking about staring need in the face until it's uncomfortable, there are certain people and situations that are very uncomfortable. I remember being in Kunming, China, and I would often take teams or just go downtown Kunming, and there's this one guy who would lay face down on a skateboard, but his legs were curled backwards, and he had polio, I imagine, and his legs were just twisted almost in a circle behind him. He was missing a left arm, and with his his right arm was missing. His left stub had a glove on it, and he would push himself face down, face forward on this skateboard across the park begging. And there's a little canister attached to his skateboard. I saw that guy all the time. I mean, staring that need in its face. I remember the little girl, an armless beggar girl. She's about 6 years old, wearing pink, tattered pink dress, also no arms, and looking up at me with these eyes like, uncle, will you give me some money? And I mean, so when you're talking, how are you able to see these initial needs, or how can people see these needs to stare them in the face and say, I want to do what Jimmy's doing, not maybe to the extent or in a different way, but look at the needs and respond in a way that Jesus would do that.
Yeah, so I think some people come to this a little more naturally. My wife she tests really high on like compassion and mercy, and when we do these kind of tests, and she sees these things and she just can't help but do that. I don't really think like that often. So for me, some of the compassion stuff has been more of a discipline. I have other things that come more naturally to me, but that isn't one of them. But we've just made a decision, like we just aren't going to look away. We're going to take steps, and we're going to see what the Lord asks us to see, and we're going to live with the consequences of what we see.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think the first step for a lot of people is not what they will do in response. It's just choosing to be willing to see something that's uncomfortable, because we tend to be so good at frustration avoidance. We always tell people in our church, right? If you're not yet frustrated, you're not yet involved.
So being involvement does create some sort of frustration.
Sure.
Why would people want to be involved in God's mission then?
Sure, because I think, I don't know why you would want to do it. I don't know why you would want to do it from just a natural perspective.
Yeah, it's got to be some spirit-led kind of
I think you have to look at this situation and realize, like I think if you reflect upon what it means to have received grace in your life, you can be a person who gives grace more easily. That, I think, is part of it. I think part of it is a spiritual discipline, but part of it, I don't know what the natural means are. I think some people come to that more naturally, just compassion in these
Empathetic
circumstances.
kind of. Well, okay, if that's the case, though, the starting point could be done just as easily by Ellen DeGeneres or Oprah Winfrey.
No,
I
absolutely.
mean, random acts of kindness. I think you're talking about a little bit beyond empathy into compassion, which might be more empathy in action, or the love that Jesus draws us into.
Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join His mission. This podcast is powered by Within Reach Global. Subscribe, watch, and listen on YouTube today. Visit missionspulse.com.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought. Also, you might want to check out this video here, and honestly, that one's not bad either. Make sure you subscribe to Missions Pulse by clicking the subscribe button right here, and also click that little bell button so you get notified every single time we post a new video.